me, keep a 20 on me, case emergency. Ain't no cap in my rap. Really, I know it's the truck. More profit mean extra. Emerald white off full of pressure. That cereal milk smoking right. But that Obama rant some special. Kansas City, I'm a chief. Shout out to K5 on this one. Country thinking I was hustling. I always had it on me. Booming like OJ the juice. Till a nigga told on me. From now on, it's relentless. Ain't no love, we ain't friendly. If she want me on him. No the law, she get the business. No the law, still the motto. Empire.
Hello. Welcome in. This is Birds of a Feather Podcast with your boy Q City.
Your boy Terrence Bravado.
And as you can see, we have a very, very special guest here. Welcoming in the Orangeman.
Thank you.
Right? So that is the actual name here. We have football connoisseur. As you can see on the cap, he's part of the AAFP. Orange, if you want to take it away and just kind of explain, what that is and what you do, and, give them a reason to know why we brought you here.
Thank you very much, first of all. The AAFP is the American Association of Football Prognosticators. And I've been doing this since, are you ready for this? 1969. That's right.
1969.
We're talking 50.
My parents were born in 69.
I know. There are people in the AAFP that I've got record albums that are older than they are. So yeah, we've been doing this since 1969, and we all get together, or I try to get everybody together. Week 1, we meet in Las Vegas, Nevada, to welcome in the brand new New Year, to say Happy New Year to the NFL, and we're trying to get as many people involved this year. 4 years ago, we had our 50th anniversary, and unfortunately, I had an operation, so the whole celebration got kaputs. So we're trying to get as many people to get back to Las Vegas as we can. But it's a real fun league. I hate to use the word fantasy because it's not fantasy like most people think of fantasy, in that we don't do lineups or any of that stuff. It's just purely what's called in Vegas the money line. Who wins and losses, who's going to win and who's going to lose. And we go 15 after 15 weeks. There is we have people in 2 different conferences, the American Prognosticators Conference, the APC, and the National Prognosticators Conference, the NPC. And whoever's ahead at each point, whoever's ahead after week 15, they get some money. And then there's a whole process that goes into the division winners, and the wild cards go on to go for the big money. And this year we've raised the ante up, and the grand prize after week 18 will be $1,000 this year. So we're pretty excited about that.
And I played in the league last year. I did terrible, people. Y'all were here for the betting pod. Y'all know how things was going. But it's a really fun league, and we definitely plan on joining you in Vegas this year to welcome in the new NFL season.
Oh, it'll be fun. It'll be fun because unlike past years, we've got something going on every day of the whole weekend. We got the Thursday night kickoff watch party. Then there's the Friday night. There's going to be a Friday night game because Green Bay's playing Philadelphia and Brazil. So there's going to be a Friday night watch party. Plus, 2 of the guys in the AAFP have birthdays around that time. So they're going to be their wives are having a birthday party for them on Friday. Then Saturday is the free food fun football fiasco that we are holding for everybody, and then of course the Sunday watch party, and then some of us will stick around for Monday, but others will go home. So it's a full weekend in Las Vegas. So we're looking forward to it.
Absolutely.
Good time.
Hey, that's the plan. So we brought you here, obviously, for prognostication, right? So like we all through last season did a betting pod. I think we both ended the season right around 500 or right below. Um, but I feel like we overall had a pretty decent season, and mostly we were betting on Falcons props, you know, for the most part, and
Right.
then we would go through like 3 or 4 games. Something that you have taken to doing, and it's a huge part of the AAFP is the fact that you go through each week of the whole season, right? And really give a tally on how you think teams are gonna end toward the end of the season. So this week we're gonna
Right.
go through weeks 1 and 2, and then the plan is to make you a staple to come back so we can hold you to those picks once the season starts, and we can really get into the coming weeks.
Sounds good. I like it.
All right. So right now we got week 1. Obviously the opening game, Ravens Chiefs. Who you got there? Because for me, I'm thinking the world champs are going to bring that one home.
You know, I thought about that too, and originally I had gone with the Ravens. I mean with the Chiefs, because I thought, you know, they are the champs. But for some reason this year, I think it's going to be the year of the specialized quarterbacks. And when I say specialized, I'm talking about quarterbacks that can run and throw and do both well. So I think it's going to be a good year for Lamar in Baltimore. I think it's going to be a good year for Richardson, Anthony in Indianapolis. I think it's going to be a good year for Deshaun as well in Cleveland. So having said that, I did have Kansas City taking that W, but after looking at it and looking at what's going on and who's going where, I changed my pick. I'm hoping that Kansas City can do it, but because Baltimore is in my division as a Cleveland Browns fan. But I really think the Ravens are gonna want to show everybody this first big prime time game to begin the season that they are for real. So I'm going with the Ravens in that game.
Yeah, especially
I'm
after
gonna
that
go with
show
the
on the
Ravens
AFC
too.
Championship. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with them too, but mainly just because, like, you know, Kansas City, they got a bunch of new toys now.
Yeah.
So I think it might take them a couple of games just to get everything in stride. You know, because even last year, it took them a minute to get going because they lost the opening game to Detroit.
Mm-hmm. That's
So
true.
I expect the Ravens to win this one because I think they're gonna lean heavy on Henry because they want to show off their new toy.
Yes.
So
Yes.
So then we got our Brazil game, Eagles and Packers. Who y'all got there? Because for me, personally, how I look at it, I think the Packers are going to be high this year. I wouldn't be surprised for a 13-win season out of them. So I got the Packers winning game 1.
You know, I once again I thought about what's going on, and I said to myself, Green Bay is going to take this. And then the more I looked at it, and like I said, looking at what's going on the following weeks and whatnot, I had to change that one too. So I wound up going with Philadelphia, because I think Jalen Hurst wants to prove from Jump Street what he can do. And I didn't totally believe in the Packers last year. Um, And I think Jalen wants to prove that what happened at the latter part of the season is not who the Eagles are. And I think he wants to send an opening day message. So I'm going with the Eagles on this one.
I can see it. Okay.
I'm also going with the Eagles. And you know, even though like I said with the Chiefs, you know, they're in the same offense, but they got new weapons. The Eagles are in this. They're in a new offense, but they got the same weapons. I mean, although Saquon, he's new, but the offense isn't changing. And I think he's going to be able to elevate the run game and be able to make things a little easier on Hurts to where he don't got to do as much heavy lifting. So,
Well, see, I
and
think the
I'm not a
offense
big
is going to change
believer.
a lot.
I don't think the offense, yeah, but the offense itself is different, but the players are still there. So he still has connection with these guys.
I
As
got you.
opposed to like when I said with the Chiefs, he's having to build new connections. These connections aren't changing. the offense itself is, but I mean, I think they're still going to run the ball because look back to what Kellen Moore did with Dallas. They're still gonna lean on their superstars.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm going to go with the Eagles as well. I mean,
All
and
right.
then
So
Green Bay. I'm not a huge believer of their defense.
yeah, that defense is a little shaky. So getting into Sunday's games in the early slate, um, well, just little rapid fire here. Panthers Saints, Vikings Giants, Patriots Bengals. I got the Panthers. I got Bryce going ahead getting a win there. I actually think the Giants will beat the Vikings and then the Bengals over the Patriots.
I'm going to disagree with you on the Carolina game. I think it's going to be a tough year for Carolina. I think
Mhm.
I think getting in that new coach will help the quarterback situation, but I think it's going to take a little bit of time. So I'm going with I think the Panthers will take that first loss, but the other two games I'm right there with you on those two. I need to
Um,
get
I agree with the. I think the Panthers are going to win that one. I think that this offense is going to be beneficial to Bryce Young. And Dave Canales, being that he came from Seattle, when they drafted Leggett, I'm thinking he's looking at Leggett as his DK Metcalf. So I'm expecting the offense to. I mean, it could take time, but I think because they're playing the Saints, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the Saints are gonna have a rough year.
really.
I think the Saints are gonna have a rough year. It
Why do you feel that?
well, part of it's my bias, but other than that, it's just. But other than that, I didn't really love a lot of their moves in the offseason. They lost players. Um, I'm not a Derek Carr believer
Okay, okay, I can
because
relate to that.
I think that probably by the end of the season we're probably going to end up seeing some Spencer Rattler snaps by the end of the season.
You and Spencer Rattler, man. You done had
No,
it in for
no,
him
no, no. See,
through the
no,
whole draft
no.
process, bro.
It had nothing to do with it. I'm just saying because like if your season's over, you might as well see what you got in the young guy. It has nothing
Nah,
to do
that's
with
fair.
the endorsement of him. It's just I think they might be at the point where Derek Carr might be on the last. I don't think they're gonna bring Derek Carr back after this season.
You can
Hmm.
you can cut him after this season and not take a huge financial hit. So I could see if the season goes off the rails, they go ahead and cut bait there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So running up again on the early slate, we got Texans Colts. I think CJ Stroud's a monster. I think he's gonna knock that one out. And then Bills Cardinals. Sneaky game. I actually think the Cardinals will get that.
Ah, I'm gonna take the Bills in that one. But I do think the Cardinals and the Colts are my two surprise teams, and I think that the Colts are going to surprise everybody and take week number one. The Cardinals may lose week number one, but I think it's going to be uh, a slow, simmering process that they get it together because I'm a big fan of the wide receiver that they got. His name escapes my mind now.
Harrison Jr.
Yes, 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 yes. And I'm a big fan of his. And giving Kyler Murray a weapon like that, I don't think anybody realizes how dynamic I think that combination is going to be. But it's going to take a while for it to happen. So
Yeah.
I think the Cardinals will lose week number one, but look out for them by the time the end of the season comes. And like I said, Indianapolis is my surprise team of the year. I think they're going to come out and surprise everybody, and it's going to start in week number one.
Now, with the Bills, I'm really not sure what to expect because their roster had a lot of turnover. The receiving room looks almost completely different. The cornerback room looks different. It's like I'm guessing Keon Coleman's going to be their alpha, but I mean,
I
I'm
think
really
they're
not
going to
too
rely
sure what
heavily
to
on that two
expect.
tight end system. I think they're going to rely
I
heavily
mean,
on that
yeah,
two
but
tight end system that
I
was
mean, sure, but
popularized in New
you
England.
still have a lot of people. You still have a lot of people on that roster that occupy the same space, like what's his name, Shakir Tony, I think. Like you have a lot of slot type receivers, so it's only so much you can operate. But I do think that they will run the ball a little more this year, though. So I expect a big year for Cook.
They actually, in my opinion, they actually got addition by subtraction because as much as I appreciate the talent that Stephon Diggs is, um, it reminds me of the situation when Odell Beckham came to Cleveland, and
Mm.
everybody was like, "So, oh, this is going to be great," and it just didn't work. And I know that um, Baker was having a difficult time trying to decipher which receiver he was going to use, knowing that if he didn't get the ball to Odell, he was going to hear about it. And the same thing was happening with Josh Allen in Buffalo. And
Yeah,
you are going to see a Josh Allen that's unhandcuffed this year. And I know that they have a lot of changes, but you're also going to see a Josh Allen that is changed. And I really think that not having Stephon Diggs is going to be a big, big, big bonus for the Buffalo Bills this year. So
I can see that. It should allow, in theory, it should allow Allen to play more free.
yeah, yes,
Mhm.
exactly.
So, Taj, who did you have? Texans, Colts, and Cardinals, Bills.
You said who?
Who did you
You said
have in
Texans,
Texans,
Colts.
Colts? Yeah.
Okay, so I got the Cardinals, and I have the Texans. Um, and since we're talking about the Texans, we just got to do talking about Diggs. I don't think Diggs is going to have that same role because, in my opinion, the number one receiver over there is Nico Collins. So it's going to be interesting. But you know what? Now that I'm thinking about it, I'm going to go Colts because I'm not so sure how they're going to figure out all those weapons on week one. Because Diggs, Diggs, he's a diva receiver, and the other two don't really seem like that. So it may take them a little time to figure all it out. And I also don't think I think they are a team. Even though they made a lot of big moves in the offseason, they're probably setting themselves up to have a bit of a step back.
Yeah, I think they'll be. I think Stroud will be a better quarterback, but they'll have a worse record this year.
I wonder about CJ. One of the things I've noticed in the NFL is that anybody that has a really good year, the chances are that second year you take a little step back, not because they're not as talented, but you give NFL defensive coordinators 18 games or 17 games, whatever, to figure stuff out, and they got a whole offseason to do it. They come
Mm-hmm.
back, and that's why you find so many players that had a killer season one year. They come out the next year, and the defense got something for them. So I happen to think that could be one of the issues here with I love C.J. Stroud. I think he's a great quarterback, and I could be wrong. He could surpass what I'm thinking and come out with another killer year. But I just think it's going to be a slight step down or back. I don't want to say back, a slight step down because more teams are going to figure out what he wants to do, what he likes to do. That's my opinion, at least at this point. At least
Yeah,
at this point of the game, yeah.
I agree
So
with that.
then we got three more games in the early slate. You got Titans, Bears, Jaguars, Dolphins, and then the one me and you are going to be glued to the TV about Steelers, Falcons, right? So, well, actually, Orange, you might be watching that one too, because like the Browns game don't come on to the late slate. So
That's right.
anyway,
That's right.
I got I got the Bears over the Titans. I think the Titans are in the mix for the number one pick overall. We can get into that one just a step later.
You said the who?
Jaguars, the Titans. I think they're in the mix for.
Titans.
We talked about this. I think they're in the mix for the number one overall pick. I think the Titans are going to be absolute trash this year.
I do too. They're
I don't think
six.
so.
Their over under is 6.5, and when
Taking
I
the
get
under.
to Vegas, I'm taking the under on that. I'm taking all day
Yeah.
the under on that. They'll be
Yeah.
lucky to sniff 5. Lucky to sniff 5. And I know I'm going to hear this from
I
all
think
my
they'll be in the
Tennessee
mix.
fans. But yeah,
Bro, I live in Nashville. Yeah, like you live in Nashville. You know what it is. They're gonna be mad, but hey, it is what it is. Then Jaguars, Dolphins. I got the Jags. Usually Miami has that. Miami's facing northern teams in September, which allows them to like kind of gain that gaudy record. Those 5-2 starts. Those 6-1 starts. You don't have that step up against Jacksonville. They play in the same weather, and then it's Tua versus Trevor. I still think Trevor's really good. And then Falcons Steelers. I have the Falcons winning because I don't trust Russell Wilson, but that game is going to be a barometer for the season. And I hate to say that on week 1, but we get to see the offense, new and improved under Kirk. Steelers play a bruising style of run the ball offense that they've always constantly played. So we get to see kind of a toughness aspect of our defense, right? And then Russell's been playing mediocre ball. Can we not get torched by a mediocre quarterback? So I think just like a lot of week 1 questions can be answered there.
I'm gonna let you go ahead. I go ahead.
This could be the first blowout of the NFL season, because I love the fact that Pittsburgh's going to suck early. Pittsburgh is going to be. Let me look down here. Week 3. Oh, they do win 1 by the 3rd week. I have, but Pittsburgh is gonna suck, and because of that, I predict that by week 4, Russell Wilson will not be the starting quarterback for the Pittsburgh Steelers. And so I think Atlanta, this could be a 34, 41 to 10 game and basically be all over by halftime, because I may watch that game because I love to watch Pittsburgh lose.
So,
And then who you got in Titans, Bears, and Jags, Dolphins?
The Titans are just, like I said before, they're and even though it may not be a high scoring game because Caleb has had his issues in training camp, but you can't really tell from training camp what's going on. But I still think the Bears will eke one out there, because the Titans just, in between their inability to stop somebody and their inability to score points, this could be like a 13-10 ball game with all the points scored in the fourth quarter. It could be 0-0 going into the fourth quarter. It's going to be a game that's going to put people to sleep. So, and I'm sorry, what was the last game you mentioned there?
Jags, Dolphins.
Oh, Jags, Dolphins. I had a tough time with this one because it's one of those that could go either way. But I'm going to go with Miami, because I think Miami has more of a tendency in the early part of the year they put things together, and then for whatever reason in the second half of the year it's a different story.
Fade down the stretch.
Fade
down the stretch.
Yeah. So I'm going to go with Miami over Jacksonville in week 1.
okay. So I'm just gonna start with the Titans. They're winning week 1.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm going to take the Dolphins over the Jaguars. Now, I have some rebuttals for some comments that you marked on my beloved Falcons. I'm going to say my beloved Falcons because you're not talking like a Falcon fan right now. So
Oh my goodness! I said we were gonna win. I said we were gonna win.
I mean, you said no. You said we're gonna win, but it being a barometer for the season of week 1 is egregious. Like, every team in the NFL is figuring things out. If you go off week 1, then the Kansas City Chiefs wouldn't have been the Super Bowl champs last year. Week 1 determines nothing.
I think you
All
get
you
some,
want,
you get
all
some-
you want,
Okay.
all
Did the
all you
Chiefs have
want
to deal with
is
drops
the
all year
attitude and the
last year?
culture. They did.
Did you see that in week 1?
Yeah,
I said a barometer. You know what you're gonna have to deal with for the season. You see that in week 1. What did we see in week 1? We saw Ritter being mediocre, the defense playing lights out, and us coming down to the final nail against a mediocre quarterback. What did we deal
well,
with
we ended the season.
all season?
The defense wasn't lights out all season.
All right, but anyway, go ahead with your games, bro.
So yes, yeah, but the Falcons are going to win. I think they're going to win handedly. And I don't know about week 4, but I do expect probably about at least at the midway point that Justin Fields end up taking significant snaps.
And did you do Jags Dolphins?
Yes, at Dolphins.
Dolphins, gotcha. All right, so then going into the late slate, we got 4 games. Broncos, Seahawks. I got the Seahawks. I think the Broncos that a 50 million dead cap is tough for any team. Seahawks, Broncos. I got the Hawks. Raiders, Chargers. Got the Chargers, and then Bucks, Commanders. Sadly, I got the Bucks in that one. What about you, Orange Man?
I'm gonna go.
You missed one of them.
Well, he's a Browns fan, so I was gonna wait for that one.
Oh, okay.
I need to get. Hold on a second. I need to grab my pen. I'll be right back. Sorry.
I got you. No. It's cool.
I don't have my schedule here. I thought I did.
I got your.
Who were the Commanders playing? I'm sorry.
Commanders are
playing the Buccaneers.
Bucks. I think you had the Bucks winning that one.
Yep.
Then you had the Chargers winning, and I think you had the Broncos winning. No, you had the Seahawks winning as well.
Yes, the Seahawks. That's going to be a game that nobody really wants to see. It could be a score of defensive touchdowns, special teams touchdowns, but neither one of those offenses at that point of the season, I predict, are gonna do much of anything. It's going to be a long year for both of those teams. And what was the third one you mentioned there?
Raiders, Chargers.
Raiders, Chargers. Yeah. Las Vegas. Okay, yeah, the Chargers. Chargers are going to start their quest for a playoff spot in week 1. I don't trust the Raiders. I don't trust what they do, what they try to do, what they tried to do, unless they change their offensive philosophy. I don't see much happening with the Raiders this year. Although I do predict that they will beat my Cleveland Browns in week 4, but that's another story.
All right, Taj, what you got, man?
So I got the Seahawks over the Broncos. I'm gonna go with the Chargers. That's a game I'm struggling with though, because I think the Raiders are gonna play some good football. But Harbaugh he's gonna change the culture for the Chargers. So I'm gonna go Chargers. And then Commanders, Bucks. I'm going Commanders. Dan Quinn defenses tend to start out fast. And it looks like the Commanders have been spending the money where he's wanted it. So I expect that defense to come out firing while the offense can take their time developing Jaden. I'm curious to see what this iteration of the offense is going to look like because last time we seen a Cliff Kingsbury offense, it was pass heavy,
Yeah.
But Dan Quinn being the head coach, I know he wants to run the ball, so I wonder what that balance is going to look like.
Yeah,
But
but when he was
even though I still think the Commanders are going to pull that week 1 win out.
I was gonna say, like, when Dan Quinn was with someone he trusted implicitly with the offense, he was kind of hands off with the run pass. You know what I'm saying? So like,
I mean,
because when he was
to
with
our
Kyle
perspective,
in season 1, yeah, to our perspective, when he was with Kyle, there was a heavy focus on running the ball in the first year, but in the second year, Matt was really airing it out and got an MVP out of it.
no. But the thing is, we were still a top 5 rushing offense because you got to look at it like this. Everyone after Shanahan, Dan Quinn made him run his offense.
True. But I just think, you kind of had implicit trust in your guy there. But on to the one that
I
I
don't
know
think it's
your
implicit
eyes.
trust.
Yeah, possibly.
If you making everyone, if you making every coordinator after this guy, you say no, y'all over in his offense. That's not implicit trust.
So into the one I know your eyes are going to be glued to, Cowboys Browns. That's going to be a big game. I hate to tell you, I do think the Cowboys are going to pull that one out.
That's all right. You can start off with a loss. It's all right. My big concern is, and it's I hate the way the NFL has set the season up. I don't. The fact that we only have 3 preseason games and nobody plays during those preseason games, so it usually takes an offense a week or 2 or 3 or maybe even 4 weeks before it starts firing on all cylinders. That being said, I think the Browns defense is going to be even better than it was last year. And the fact is also we're playing at home. I don't think that Dallas is going to be able to run all up and down the field, no matter who's at quarterback or who's at running back or who's at wide receiver. I'm hoping that the Cleveland offense can put up enough points. I'm predicting they will put up enough points to win this game. But I think it's going to be one of those 38, 35, 36, 32, basically mid-range from a scoring standpoint type of game. But I do think that my Cleveland Browns will win their opening day game for the 3rd straight year after going 18, 19, 20 years of not winning in opening week. So go Browns.
I'm going to agree with that because Dallas has the O line is relatively young. Cleveland has one of the best front fours in football. So Dak ain't gonna have no time to get at the CD, especially when you got the Warden over there covering him.
Oh yeah.
So I expect probably a lower scoring game than most people might expect. And I'm not so sure about Dallas's defense. I mean, we do know the Zimmerman is blitz heavy, so he's going to blitz. But I think that Jerry Jeudy's going to show people he's a better receiver than people thought he was.
I hope you're right. I really do hope you're right, and I know that our GM they tried to get Jerry Jeudy last year, and they weren't able to get him. So the fact that they went after him even harder this year tells me that AB really has faith in who he believes Jerry Jeudy can be. So hopefully for the Browns, that will come to fruition. So we'll see.
And then I also think Amari Cooper really just want to show them what they're missing out on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Amari Cooper revenge game. Amari Cooper revenge game.
About that. Oh yeah.
So getting into prime time, we got Rams Lions and then Jets Niners. I actually this might be my controversial one. I think the Rams are finna put the beat down on the Lions Sunday night. I don't think that game is going to be super competitive. And then, okay, so it's not that hard to take.
Well, it'll be competitive, but it's gonna be. I got the Rams.
Yeah, I got the Rams big. I got the Rams by like whatever the spread is. I'm gonna go ahead and take that one. And then 49ers, I got them beating the Jets. I don't get the Jets hype. I don't think they're gonna be good this year, to be honest with you.
I totally agree with that. But with the Detroit and the Rams, even though I think the Rams are going to win the NFC West, I think Detroit is going to have a surprise for them, and they're going to take it to them in week one. Not a blowout, mind you. They're just going to beat them.
Yeah.
The Rams are going to miss big boy, Aaron
Donald. Yeah.
Yes, Aaron Donald. They're going to miss big boy.
Yeah. I just can't see a Dan Quinn. I mean, not a Dan. I just can't see a Dan Campbell team getting blown out. That's what I can't see that. They play too hard for him. Like even when they was bad, they were still in games. They were still fighting. Mm-hmm. So I think the Rams will win. Especially after the Lions put them out the playoffs last year.
Yeah, that's true.
But I think it'll probably be like maybe a 10-point game at most.
Yeah. I think this is gonna be one of those snowball games where like I see a couple things going wrong at the beginning and the Lions looking up and it's a 18, 21 point like deficit and they're just like, what is going on? Because a lot of the reasons that I'm choosing KC over Baltimore is because I feel like Baltimore's going to go in there trying to prove something based on how the season ended. And I feel like the Lions are going to try to go into that game trying to prove something based on how the season ended.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, but the Lions beat them. What do they got to prove? The Rams got something to prove.
No, just
the Ravens lost. The Ravens lost. They got something to prove. The Lions won. What do they got to prove?
Yeah, their last game versus the Niners. You know what I'm saying? They gave it up. They were, kind of undisciplined toward the end. I think they're gonna be pressing that game. That's why I wouldn't be surprised if they got blown out that game and then went on a 2-3 game winning streak.
Mm-hmm.
So we gonna hop right. So that's the end of week one. We're all locked in there. Mainly I'm doing this for editing purposes. And we're gonna go ahead and check on into week two. All right. So Thursday night game, week 2, we got Bills Dolphins. The Bills are going down to South Beach. 100%. I got the Dolphins there. Like that's not even a question to me. I think that's gonna be like teams from up north traveling to South Beach early in the season. The Dolphins have a crazy win streak, crazy winning percentage. So I got the Dolphins there.
I'm going to go with the Dolphins there also, even though I have immense faith in brother Josh Allen. I don't think he's going to be able to do it this particular week. And plus, it's, those interdivision games, you never know. It doesn't matter what the record are, what the team is. Those interdivision games can be all kinds of weird. But I think Miami will take care of business. But I still have faith in Josh Allen. I just think Miami will take care of business this week.
I'm going to go Bills. I think the Bills are going to be a much more run-centric team this year. And I'm not a believer of the Dolphins D-line. Like, they lost the heart and soul of Christian Wilkins. He's over in Las Vegas now. Mm-hmm. So I want to see how they're going to stop the run. So, I'm not so sure they're going to have it figured out week 1.
And Jalen Phillips is going to be coming off a torn Achilles.
And this is also a first-time defensive coordinator for the Dolphins. The dude that came over from the Ravens. His name's escaping me, but I know the Falcons were interviewing Anthony Weaver.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what that defense is going to look like. But I'm going to go Bills.
I get it. So going on into the early slate of week 2, I'm going to be honest with y'all. We didn't do an NFL schedule show, but something I noticed is that the Thursday night games, the primetime games, really got a lot of love over the course of the season. Because like if you look at the early slate in week 2, you got 49ers Vikings, which like Vikings maybe starting Sam Darnold, who was just with the Niners, or a rookie. Either way, 49ers is killing them. And then Patriots Seahawks, that's a snooze fest. I might take the Patriots just because they're at home. Giants Commanders might do a little bit. I'll go. God, I hate giving the Giants 2-0. I'll give the Commanders that one. So 49ers Vikings, I got Niners. Pat Seahawks, I got Patriots, and then Commanders Giants, I got the Giants.
I'm gonna go with Seattle. Seattle? I can't even read my own writing here.
I think you did have Seattle in week 2.
Yes.
Let me see, week 2. Yep, yes.
Yeah.
No. You had Seattle losing in week 2. You had the Patriots.
Okay. Yeah, I'm getting all. I got my stuff here. I didn't have it set up the way I need to have it set up. So New England will take the victory in week number 2. Okay. And who is this? Who's the Thursday night? Who's that? San Francisco?
Yeah, San Francisco versus Minnesota.
Minnesota. Yeah, I'm taking San Francisco there. I have
That's
very
Thursday
little faith.
Night. No. That's early slate Sunday. It's fine though.
Oh, okay. Oh no.
Thursday night.
Oh, the Bills
is
was a
Dolphins.
Thursday night game.
Yeah,
Okay.
Bills
I was
Dolphins
confused.
Thursday
I'm like,
night.
huh? Okay.
I'm sorry.
Okay. No. You good.
And what was the third game?
Giants Commanders.
Giants Commanders.
Okay. Just make sure that I'm not okay. And I got the Commanders taking that one because the Giants are taking the L.
You do.
Oh
man.
Yeah, the 49ers are going to get the Vikings a biblical beating.
49ers, yes.
Yes. The Seahawks are going to get a Patriots a biblical beating as well, and then I'm going to go with the Commanders over the Giants.
It's really hard for me to give the Giants 2-0. Like I just can't see that. No, I can't see that. I think they're going to be terrible this year. So then, going on to the next slate, Chargers Panthers. I had the Panthers winning in week 1. I do think the Chargers are going to win week 2, right? So we got the Panthers at 1-1. So Chargers going to win week 2. I think the Cowboys are going to destroy the Saints. And then Packers Colts, I got Richardson winning this game. I think the Colts are going to go on a stupid streak after this, but I think the Colts win versus the Packers.
I got the Chargers taking that victory in that first game you mentioned. As much as I love the Indy quarterback, I do think that they're going to suffer the defeat at the hands of the Packers. The Packers are just, for me, they fluctuate, and I don't really know why they can't be consistent. But I think they'll be consistent enough, and I don't even know how much of that is going to be. Is Green Bay going to win that game, or is Indianapolis going to lose that game? I'm concerned. Even though I said that Indy's my surprise team and that I think Anthony Richardson's gonna just go lights out, I'm still concerned about how well he's going to perform and this could be one of those weeks that he doesn't perform as well as he did. I think he will in week 1. And what was the other one? Dallas, New Orleans. Is that?
Mm-hmm.
I just want to double check. Like I said, I don't have these in the right order. Dallas is going to win. Oh yeah, give Dallas the big notch there. Even though I have issues with Dallas, I have more issues with New Orleans. I don't think they're the team. Well, I know they're not the team that they were, years ago. And I haven't seen, and I haven't really paid that much attention to what's been going on in their camps during the OTAs and whatnot. So I don't even know what to expect. From what I've seen, I don't expect them to be to put an offense enough together to beat Dallas in week 2. So I'm going with Dallas on that one.
Okay, so Chargers, Panthers. I'm going to take the Panthers. Yeah, I don't really have any rhyme or reason behind it. I'm just flying by the Panthers.
He said, "Yo, we living on faith, man."
Saints, Cowboys. Yeah, the Cowboys are going to do the Saints pretty bad. And then I'm going to go with the Packers. Yeah, I like the Colts, and I think they're going to have, in theory, I think they have a good season. But ultimately, Anthony Richardson, love him, but I feel like he's getting a lot of hype because he's still unproven.
Mm-hmm.
He only played four or 5 games last year, and taking unnecessary hits.
Technically, he only played 2 games. So, like, he played 4 games. He didn't finish 1. He played 2, and he got knocked out of the 4th, like, very early on.
And so, like, he really hasn't, like, this is essentially a rookie year. Like, last year was a redshirt year, basically. But, I mean, it ultimately depends on what he gives you, and I couldn't tell you in good faith what that would be. So, I'm going to go with Packers. But if Richardson turns out to be what everyone thinks he could be, then the Colts could have a good season. But I'm going to go with Packers in this week 2 matchup.
So then, rounding out, there's 4 games left. We'll say the Browns and Jags. Jets, Titans. I got the Jets once again. I think the Titans are going to be terrible. Bucks, Lions. I think the Lions do the Bucks crazy. I love the fact that NFL decided to give 2 playoff matchups back to back. That was pretty cool for the Lions, but I think they are going to just do the Bucks crazy. And then Ravens, Raiders. I got the Ravens bouncing back from what I think was going to be a week 1 loss.
Tennessee won't be. I know I said this before. Tennessee won't be anywhere near a victory anytime soon. So just write them off. Tampa Bay and Detroit. Can I read my writing here? Yes, I'm gonna go with Detroit on that one. I have my set of issues with Baker Mayfield, and he's very much I'm gonna get you this week, but I'm gonna lay down this week, and not necessarily the team give up, but Baker needs to grow up, and I know he's grown up a lot since he got to Tampa Bay. And a lot of people dogged him when he was here and whatnot. He did a lot of stuff that he shouldn't have done, whether that was talking to people or replying to people online. It's like, focus on football. Now, he has grown up a lot. I give him credit for that. And he did a great job with Tampa Bay last year. Um, and I think he's gonna to be a decent quarterback. But I've always known that Baker could be a decent quarterback. Having said all that, he's not going to win this week. He's just not going to win this week. It's not. I don't see him turning it on, being that quarterback that all the Tampa Bay fans want him to be. And with Las Vegas and Baltimore, forget that. Lamar Jackson is going to do what he does, and this game should not be pretty. Uh, it's going to be a big Ravens victory. Now, having said that, I hope I'm wrong, because the Ravens are in the division with my Cleveland Browns. So I hope I'm wrong, but the way I see it, I don't see there's a way that even if Baltimore has a bad game, I don't see the Ravens taking it. I mean the Raiders taking advantage of that.
So, yeah, I'm going to go with Ravens. Jets. And I'm going to take the Bucks over the Lions.
All right, a little shocker there.
Yeah, because I mean, the Bucks team, they yeah, I'm gonna take them over the Lions. It's gonna be a close game. I look at the Bucks and Lions kind of similar. I think Baker's better than people give him credit for. Last year he had a good season, and the Bucks rewarded him for his efforts. Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bucks over the Lions in a very close game.
All right, now to wrap up the early slate.
Did Taj? Wait a minute. I wanted to ask Taj. Did you say you were taking Tennessee?
No, I was taking the Jets.
Okay.
Nah, he's taking the Jets. Taking the Jets.
Okay.
Hey, look.
I was like, what? No.
I took them week one. I'm not doing it week two. Nah.
Okay. All right.
Closing up the early slate, we got the Browns and the Jags. I think the Browns are gonna do the Jags dirty, especially after losing in week one. In my estimation, I think that game has the potential for Lawrence to get knocked out, and just that game could cascade very quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if that's like a 31-7 type of, like a 24-7 type of game for a long time, and then a late defensive score makes it 31-7 and the game looks terrible at the end. So I wouldn't be surprised if the Browns were all over the Jags.
I'm going to agree with you on that one. I don't see the Jags playing up to the capability of the Browns. I'm hoping that the defense picks up where it left off last year at home, and when they're on the road, I hope they find a better defense than they had last year, because they were just awful. But having said all that, I'm taking the Browns.
I'm gonna piggyback on both of y'all said. Yeah, Browns. I like the Jags. It's just this is not a good matchup for them.
Nah. This is not a good matchup. All right, so really light afternoon slate. Just 3 games. You got Rams Cardinals. That's going to be close for me. I actually think the Rams will be coming off a big win, so I'll go Cardinals there. Bengals Chiefs. This game's super early in the season, a little early for my taste. I'll take the Bengals in it. And then Steelers Broncos, I feel like it's going to be a hard game to watch all the way through, but I will take the Steelers there.
Rams going to bounce back, because I got them losing week one. The Rams going to bounce back against Arizona. I just think that the Rams have too much offensively. I don't know what Arizona can do defensively. and I haven't. They're not one of the teams that I've been looking at during OTAs and whatnot. But like I said, it's so difficult. You can't really tell anything. OTAs, 7-on-7 drills. What does that mean? Even nothing. But having said all that, I just think the Rams are going to take care of Arizona. Who do I have here in this Cincinnati game? Cincinnati. I got Kansas City beating Cincinnati. You can't tell. You can't predict injuries, and there's been something with Joe Burrow the last 3 years, and something wasn't right. Now, I'm not saying there's going to be an injury in week 1, but I just get a feeling, and that feeling could just be indigestion or gas. I don't know, but I just get a feeling that Joe Burrow is not going to perform well in week 2, and I don't know why. I don't know if aliens are going to come down and probe him or something or what, but I don't have faith in Burrow, and I've been surprised with the people that have picked Cincinnati to be the the AFC North champs, and one guy I saw has them picked to win the Super Bowl, and I just don't think Burrow's gonna be able to do that, whether it's able from a physical standpoint or able from a team standpoint. So I'm going with Kansas City, and then Pittsburgh and Denver. Denver sucks.
Yeah.
That's all I got for Denver. Denver sucks.
It's short, sweet, to the
So
point.
sadly, you got your division is going to be super competitive this year. The way you got the wins stacking up.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It wouldn't surprise me. Pittsburgh is so. Pittsburgh has one of, if not the best coach in football. And if anybody could elevate, every year I pick Pittsburgh to win X number of games, and they always win like 2 more. And that's what I call the Tomlin factor. Because I think if he weren't there, they would have lost at least 2 of those games. And I think that if the Tomlin factor can kick into gear this year, you might find the first time ever that an entire division goes to the playoffs. Because
it was almost last year.
Yes, that's true. That's true. I don't think Pittsburgh's gonna last, because I think that whole thing with Russell Wilson's gonna really upset the apple cart. And then I don't know what number one's gonna do when he gets behind the center. There in Pittsburgh. So we will see. We will see.
Who you got, Taj?
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take the Rams over the Cardinals. And I'm gonna agree with the Orangeman. But Burrow, his injury history is real shaky. Like, I don't know what to expect. So I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. And then and again, to agree with him, the Broncos suck.
I mean, it ain't no 2 ways around it, man. I think this is gonna be a rough year, and they selected Bo Nix, and that's your fault. Because but
the thing is the reports out of OTAs is that Zach Wilson's the starter right now,
which is crazy work. I want y'all to say that out loud. Like you got your man in camp. You got your rookie in, and you said Zach Wilson is a better option.
Now, given Sean Payton's record with quarterbacks, I'm not going to bet against him. He might turn feces into gold for all we know. But
until it happens,
until it happens,
I'm betting against you. So getting into the primetime game Sunday night, I think that's going to be a real cool one. Texans Bears. I I got the Texans. They're gonna start hot there. What about y'all?
Let me see here. I just want to just double check and make sure I'm not saying the wrong thing here. Okay, yeah. I got to go with the Texans. Even though I don't have the faith in this year in C.J. Stroud. It's whatever it is. It's going to be better than what Chicago can pull up. Because I've heard, like I said, you can't go by training camp. But what I've heard from training camp is that Caleb was having a rough time. I haven't heard anything in the last 8 or 9 days, but they said he was having a rough time. Having said that, even if he's having a good time, Houston is a powerful offensive team and a very good defensive team, and they shouldn't have any problem with Chicago.
I love like the training camp things because sometimes I think sometimes they're overblown. Because like you think back to what about 3-4 years ago when Jamar Chase was jumping all these passes and he was a bust that he went on to win Rookie of the Year, or C.J. Stroud looked horrible in preseason.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's a bit overblown. I think that Caleb will be fine, but not good enough to be C.J. though.
And then to wrap up the week, Falcons Eagles. I had the Eagles losing in week 1 to the Packers, so I actually see a 1-1 start for the Falcons. I think this is going to be a close game. I do think this is going to be a close game, but I think the Eagles pull this one out.
Okay. Yes. I have, although I do pick, I will be picking Atlanta to take that division. I think this is a game for Philadelphia. Although every week I always try to say, where is the big upset? Where is the big upset? But then, would that really be this much of an upset, seeing as how I've got Atlanta picked? I will be picking Atlanta to win that division. Having said all of that, I still think Philadelphia's going to take this one.
All right.
Outside of Darius Lakers, I do not think Bradbury is going to be on this team when the season starts for the Eagles. I think you're going to have 2 rookie cornerbacks seeing a lot of time, and given it is a primetime game, and the stink that Kirk has on him with those, I do think that he's going to be able to take advantage of the young defensive backs, and what should be a very exciting offense. The Eagles defense struggled mightily last year, and that's ultimately what led to their what was it 7? Like they lost like how many out of their last 7?
Was it
Like,
7
the
of the last
defense
8?
was
Something
horrible.
like that. 6 or 7, something like
Yeah,
that.
like it was bad, and it was due to like the offense. I mean, and they changed offensive coordinators, but the defense was to blame too. I don't believe that they're going to be able to slow this offense down if this offense lives up to the expectation that I have. So I'm going to go with Atlanta, and that's not being biased.
Hey,
I
look,
can see it.
you say it with your chest. You know what I'm saying? So, like, that was appreciate y'all. We went ahead. We got through weeks 1 and 2. We'll come back next week, get through weeks 3 and 4. Probably gonna split this up into 2 just so they stay around 30 minutes, or listen to weeks 1 and 2. But
Right.
Orange, before we get out of here, you want to tell the people how to find you, how to sign up for AAFP or anything like that before we head off?
Sure enough, you can go to www.tinyurl.com. That's tiny, TINY, URL.com/AAFP 1969, as in 1969. So that's tinyurl.com/AAFP 1969, and you can see everything you ever want to know about the AAFP on that site, including how to join, history of the league, all kinds of stuff. The last year's winners, whatever you need to find out, you can find it there at tinyurl.com/AAFP1969.
And I'll make sure to put that into the bio so you guys can click that, and it'll be on the link tree as well. So appreciate you coming by. Can't wait to do this again next week. And then when the season starts, we all call on what we were gonna do during the season, right? So this has been your boy Q City.
Your boy Taj Bravado.
And the Orangeman.
We out.
Peace.
El Chapo, looking like I hit the lotto. I want a hottie like mulatto. I'm on here and she on Moscato. I'm in them good till tomorrow. I'm a robber for the Neros. Yo, little laws, I'ma put you on payroll. You smell that aroma? Design the air, it's a party, yeah. Papa Corona, she moving the body, she working them heels. Gotta go get it mentality. Grocery bag full of celery. Only believe half what you telling me. Keep a 20 on me, case emergency. I wake up early every morning. Thank the Lord and get the bag. Hustle hard, get the cash. Stack first, then I'm showing my ass. Gotta go get it mentality. Grocery bag full of celery. Only believe half what you telling me. Keep a 20 on me, case emergency.
My babies, that's who I grind for. That's who I do it for. Like the Navy, that's who I'm toting that iron for. Keep one in the head like a thought, nigga. Yeah, I fuck with Ty, he a boss, nigga. Foot on their neck, I exhaust, nigga. Niggas cross me, so I cross, nigga. Them stripper was lit last night. 500, what it cost, nigga. Shit was really legit last night. Had them hoes at the house, nigga. Instagram, Snapchat, Triller. What they say about Jay, he a go-getter. Used to have them fat sacks in the grove, nigga. Late nights, early morning, my dough, nigga.
You smell that aroma? Design the air, it's a party, yeah. Papa Corona, she moving the body, she working them heels. Gotta go get it mentality. Grocery bag full of celery. Only believe half what you telling me. Keep a 20